Leo was a smart student in a university. Everyone knew he was smart. When he actually did his homework, he got good grades. When he actually studied, he knew the answers. But actually doing it was the problem. Leo had a secret enemy. This enemy was not a bully. This enemy was not a mean professor. This enemy was not a difficult textbook. Leo's enemy was himself, specifically his lack of discipline. Leo lived in the land of later. When his alarm clock rang at 7 a.m., Leo would say, "I will get up later." He would hit the snooze button. Then he would hit it again and again. When he had an assignment due on Friday and it was only Monday, Leo would say, "I will start later." He would play video games instead. When his room became messy, with clothes on the floor and books on the bed, Leo would say, "I will clean it later." Later was Leo's favorite word, but later is a dangerous place, because eventually later becomes too late. This is the story of how Leo left the land of later and learned to live in the land of now. It was not an easy journey. It was a long journey. But it is a journey that changed his life. The story of change usually begins with a crash. For Leo, the crash happened in November. It was the middle of the semester. The air was getting colder and the exams were getting harder. Leo had a very important paper due for his history class. It was a big paper. It was worth 40% of his grade. Leo had known about this paper for 4 weeks. In week 1, he said, "I have plenty of time. I will relax." In week 2, he said, "I still have 2 weeks. I will play games." In week 3, he said, "I will start on Monday. Monday is a good day to start." But Monday came and went. Tuesday came and went. Suddenly it was Thursday night. The paper was due on Friday morning at 8 a.m. Leo had nothing. He had 0 pages. He had 0 words. That night was a nightmare. Leo drank 4 cups of coffee. His heart was beating very fast. Thump, 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 thump. He stared at his bright computer screen. His eyes burned. He felt sick. He felt anxious. He felt stupid. "Why did I do this?" he asked himself. "Why do I always do this?" He typed fast. He did not check his spelling. He did not check his grammar. He just wanted to finish. He finished at 6 a.m. The birds were singing outside, but Leo was not happy. He was exhausted. He submitted the paper. He walked to his bed. He fell asleep in his clothes. 2 days later, the professor, Mr. Vance, returned the papers. Mr. Vance was a kind man, but he was strict. He walked to Leo's desk. He placed the paper down. There was a big red letter on the top. It was a D. Below the grade, Mr. Vance had written a note. "Leo, this is not your best work. You are smart, but you are not disciplined. Talent without discipline is like a car without gasoline. It looks nice, but it goes nowhere." Leo looked at the D. He looked at the note. He felt hot shame on his face. He looked around the room. Other students looked happy. They had done the work earlier. They were not tired. They were not ashamed. Leo realized something important that day. He realized that his lack of discipline was not funny anymore. It was not a joke. It was ruining his potential. He decided he wanted to change, but he did not know how. After class, Leo went to Mr. Vance's office. He knocked on the door. "Come in," Mr. Vance said. Leo walked in. He looked at his shoes. "Professor," he said, "I am sorry about the paper. I want to do better, but I don't know how. I always tell myself I will work, but I don't. I am lazy." Mr. Vance smiled gently. "You are not lazy, Leo. You are just addicted to comfort. You are used to the easy path. Discipline is like a muscle. If you do not use your arm muscles, they get weak. If you do not use your discipline muscle, it gets weak." Mr. Vance took a piece of paper and drew a line down the middle. "Leo, imagine there are two Leos," the professor explained. "First, there is present Leo. Present Leo wants to have fun now. Present Leo wants to eat pizza now. Present Leo wants to sleep now. Present Leo does not care about the future. Second, there is future Leo. Future Leo is the one who has to take the exam next week. Future Leo is the one who wants a good job next year. Future Leo is the one who suffers when present Leo is lazy." Mr. Vance looked Leo in the eyes. "Every time you procrastinate, you are being mean to future Leo. You are borrowing happiness from tomorrow to have fun today, but tomorrow you have to pay the debt." Leo understood. He had been hurting future Leo for years. "So what do I do?" Leo asked. "Do I study for 10 hours a day starting tomorrow?" "No," Mr. Vance said firmly. "That is the mistake everyone makes. If you try to lift a car today, you will break your back. You must start small, very, very small." Mr. Vance gave Leo a challenge. "For 1 week, I want you to do one thing, just one thing. Every morning when you wake up, make your bed. Do it immediately. Do not check your phone first. Do not go to the bathroom first. Wake up, stand up, make the bed. Can you do that?" Leo was confused. "Just make my bed? That will not help my grades." "Trust me," said the professor. "Discipline starts with the first victory of the day. If you win the battle against the messy bed, you are stronger for the next battle. Go try it." The next morning, the alarm rang at 7 a.m. Leo's brain said, "Snooze, stay warm, it is cold outside." Leo's hand reached for the phone. He wanted to look at social media. He wanted to see what his friends were doing. But then he remembered Mr. Vance. He remembered the two Leos. He thought about future Leo. "If I stay in bed," Leo thought, "future Leo will have a messy room and a bad morning." So Leo counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. He threw the blanket off. He stood up. The air was cold. He shivered. He turned around and looked at his messy bed. He pulled the sheets. He smoothed the pillows. It took only 2 minutes. When he finished, he looked at the bed. It looked clean. It looked organized. In the middle of his messy room, there was one square of order, one square of discipline. Leo felt a tiny spark of pride. It was a very small spark, but it was there. "I did it," he whispered. He did it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. For 7 days, Leo made his bed. It seems silly, students, but this small action changed his mindset. He started the day with a win. Because the bed was clean, he felt like he should pick up the clothes on the floor. Because the floor was clean, he felt like he should organize his desk. Because his desk was organized, he felt like he could sit down and open his book. It was a chain reaction. Good habits are like a chain. One link pulls the next link. Week 2 was harder. Mr. Vance gave Leo a new rule. He called it the rule of pain. Leo, the professor said, studying is hard. Your brain does not like hard things. Your brain likes dopamine. Dopamine comes from video games, sugar, and phone screens. When you try to study, your brain feels a little bit of pain. It feels boredom. You must learn to tolerate the boredom, Mr. Vance said. The new plan was this. Leo had to go to the library every day at 4 p.m. He had to stay for 1 hour. Just 1 hour. He could not bring his phone. On Monday, Leo went to the library. He sat down. He opened his physics book. The first 10 minutes were okay, but at minute 15, his brain started to scream. This is boring, his brain said. I wonder if anyone texted me, his brain said. I am hungry, his brain said. Let's go home, his brain said. Leo felt an itch in his pocket where his phone usually was. He felt restless. He wanted to move. He looked at the clock. Only 20 minutes had passed. 40 minutes left. This is the moment, students, where most people quit. This is the moment where discipline is built. Leo closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. He imagined future Leo. Future Leo was walking out of the exam hall, smiling, holding an A grade. I am doing this for him, Leo thought. He forced his eyes back to the book. He read one sentence, then another, then another. He did not learn everything that day. He did not become a genius in 1 hour. But he stayed. He did not leave. He sat in the chair until the clock hit 5 p.m. When he walked out of the library, the air smelled fresher. The sky looked bluer. Why? Because he had kept a promise to himself. There is no better feeling in the world than keeping a promise to yourself. The journey of discipline is not a straight line. It goes up, and sometimes it goes down. For 3 weeks, Leo did great. He made his bed. He went to the library. He ate better food. He felt strong. He felt like a new man. But then the dip happened. It was a rainy Tuesday. Leo was tired. He had a small headache. His friends invited him to a party online, a big video game tournament. I will just play for 1 hour, Leo said. I have been so good, I deserve a break. Leo sat down at his computer at 6 p.m. When he looked up, it was 2 a.m. He had played for 8 hours. He had not studied. He had eaten a bag of chips. He had not prepared for his morning class. The next morning, Leo woke up late. He did not make his bed. He felt terrible. He felt the old shame returning. I failed, he told himself. I am still the same lazy Leo. I cannot change. It is useless. He skipped class. He lay in bed, feeling sorry for himself. He went to see Mr. Vance 2 days later. He confessed his crime. I messed up, Professor. I ruined my streak. I am back to 0. Mr. Vance shook his head. No, Leo, you are not back to 0. The teacher picked up a marker and drew a long staircase on the whiteboard. Imagine you are climbing a mountain of stairs, Mr. Vance said. You climbed 20 steps, then you tripped and fell down 1 step. Are you at the bottom of the mountain? No, Leo said. I am just one step down. Exactly, said the professor. The problem is not slipping. Everyone slips. The problem is if you decide to throw yourself down the rest of the stairs because you slipped once. This is a very important lesson, students. Perfection is the enemy of progress. You had a bad day, Mr. Vance said. Okay. Forgive yourself. Today is a new day. Go make your bed. Go to the library. Do not wait for Monday. Do not wait for the perfect time. Restart now. Leo realized that discipline is not about being perfect. It is about returning to the path when you fall off. He went home. He cleaned his messy room. He opened his book. He started again. Months passed. The semester moved forward. Leo's life became quieter. It became more boring, but it became more peaceful. He stopped looking for excitement every minute. He learned to find joy in the routine. He liked the sound of his pen on paper. He liked the quiet hum of the library air conditioner. He liked the feeling of crossing items off his checklist. Check, check, check. His friends noticed the change. "Leo, come watch a movie," they would say. "I can't right now," Leo would answer. "I have to finish this chapter. I will come at 8 p.m. And he did. He still had fun. He still saw his friends, but he put his work first. He was no longer rushing. He was no longer sweating with anxiety at midnight. He was prepared. The final exams were approaching. This was the big boss battle. In the past, Leo would panic during finals week. He would pull all-nighters, staying awake all night. He would drink energy drinks. He would cry. But this time was different. 2 weeks before the exams, Leo looked at his schedule. He had already reviewed all his notes. He had already read all the chapters. He felt strange. Is this what it feels like? He wondered. Is this what it feels like to be ready? It was a calm feeling. It was a steady feeling. The day of the final history exam arrived. The same class where he got a D on the paper. Leo woke up at 7 a.m. He did not hit snooze. He made his bed. He ate a good breakfast, eggs and toast, not just coffee. He walked to the exam hall. He saw other students. They looked like the old Leo. They had dark circles under their eyes. They were frantically reading flashcards. They were shaking. Leo felt sympathy for them. He knew their pain. He knew the pain of the land of later. He sat down at his desk. Mr. Vance handed out the papers. "You have 2 hours," Mr. Vance said. "Begin." Leo turned over the paper. He read the first question. Discuss the causes of the Industrial Revolution. Leo smiled. He knew this. He had read about this 3 weeks ago in the library. He had reviewed it yesterday. He picked up his pen. He did not rush. He wrote clearly. His mind was organized, so his writing was organized. Point 1. Evidence, explanation. Point 2. Evidence, explanation. He wrote and wrote. He did not look at the clock with fear. He looked at the clock to manage his pace. When he finished, he had 10 minutes left. He checked his work. He fixed a few spelling mistakes. He stood up and walked to the front of the room. He handed the paper to Mr. Vance. Mr. Vance looked at Leo. He didn't look at the paper. He looked at Leo's face. Leo looked rested. He looked calm. He looked confident. "Thank you, Leo," Mr. Vance whispered. Thank you, Professor, Leo replied. A few weeks later, the results came out. Leo did not get 100%. He was not the smartest student in the whole university, but he got an A in history, and he got B's and A's in his other classes. He looked at his grades on the computer screen. He was happy, yes, but he realized that the grades were not the most important thing. The most important thing was who he had become. He was no longer a slave to his impulses. He was no longer a boy who broke promises to himself. He was a man who could set a goal and reach it. He had learned that discipline is not a punishment. Many people think discipline is a prison. They think, if I am disciplined, I cannot have fun. Leo learned the truth. Discipline is freedom. Because he was disciplined, he had free time to play games without guilt. Because he was disciplined, he could sleep at night without worry. Because he was disciplined, he was free from anxiety. Leo stood in his room. It was clean. His bed was made. His books were in a row. He looked in the mirror. He saw present Leo, and he knew that future Leo would be okay. Now, English learners, why did I tell you this story? I told you this because there is a little bit of the old Leo in all of us. We all have a messy bed sometimes. We all have a land of later in our heads. You might think you cannot change. You might think, I am just a lazy person. That is my personality. But remember Leo. He did not change his life in one day. He changed it by making his bed. He changed it by sitting in the library for 1 hour when he wanted to leave. He changed it by forgiving himself when he failed and starting again. You do not need to be a superhero. You just need to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Start with your bed. Start with 10 minutes. Start now. Because later is a dream, but now is where life happens. Thank you for watching.